If you would like to join me in creating the signatures for this spring junk journal made from a paper bag, just keep on watching. It's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. I will link the video on how I made this cover below for you in case you need to catch up. Maybe you remember in the cover video I showed you that I had bought these 4 colors and I chose this one for the cover. And I just wanted to show you what these 2 colors would look like on paper bags as well. So obviously these are not finished journals yet, but I just wanted to show you. So this one here has the bronze underneath, and then some of the gold on top, of course also with the gesso underneath. So that's what that looks like. I think it looks really nice and almost calls out to be like a steampunky kind of journal. Let's see. And then this one here is the gold, and then on top some of the bronze. So that's what that looks like. So they look a little bit similar, but they are different in shading. So just so you get an idea on how different these bags can actually look. As I mentioned in my cover video, I wanted to make this journal into a little fat baby. And I have already picked out and torn some papers to size. Let me just show you the process of how I would put together the signatures. Of course, every journal is different, but so each signature gets 2 of what I would call like regular coffee dyed papers, although they're not as regular as some other, as regular as maybe other people's coffee dyed papers, because I did experiment on some of these a little bit. If you want to know how to get things like this on your papers, please check out the video linked below about how I coffee dye. And then the yellow that you see and the other colors is just some experiments I was doing with watercolor and with some ink sprays that I've had forever, and half of them don't even work anymore. I think they're from Dilutions. I only have a couple. Then on some of them, as you can see here, I also added some gold because I'm so into gold. And on some of them, I've also done some stenciling. So this is something which is inspired by the beautiful journal from Nadia that I had bought. So there's 8 of these, so 2 for each signature. And they're not all the same size. And some of them have, some of them have torn edges. Some of them have edges that I have cut with my pinking shears, so you have the nice zigzag. And there's a few here that also have cuts, that I've cut here with some child's scissors with a cute edge like this. Then I have 4 here, so 2 are these papers which are, I don't know, they're just kind of funky. So there's 1 and there's 2. Just experimented. So I really encourage you to experiment with your coffee dyeing. And then these 2 are different paper. They are a lot heavier. Here again, just some experimenting. This is actually, this green is some ink like from calligraphy. And also some gold spots on there. A lot of gold here as well. Then I have for each signature one of these papers, which was some kind of lined paper. And again, we have this green ink. Yeah, just random lined paper. This one I folded up because it was so long, so I just made this into a pocket. I think that's the only one I did that with. So each signature gets one of these. And then I have 8 of these, so 2 per signature that will be folded in some way. And I'll fold them either from the left side or the right side. We'll see how that goes. Here's some more of the ink. I just think it makes really cool patterns and designs on your pages, just to give a little bit more interest. These are really cool. These are done with inks as well, like with the calligraphy inks. This one's fairly plain. I actually had a question recently, and I thought I would share that with you because there might be more of you who might be interested in it. So I got a question: how do you make coffee dyed paper which is crinkly, like that has this wonderful sound? Because if you just put it in your coffee and then lay it somewhere flat, it's not going to have this sound. So all you have to do is just ball it up a little bit and then smooth it out and then spray it. And then just let it dry like that. And I even put these under heavy books overnight so that they would flatten out a bit, but yet they have this beautiful sound. So this is going to be my base. So you see it's already quite a lot. And then I printed some of the images from the Digital Collage Club on some of my pages. So this is a little bit more advanced. Tina, who is the owner of the Digital Collage Club, provides some of the downloads not only as JPEGs but also as PNGs, which means they have a transparent background. So if you have a program where you can extract the image, then you can easily, because the reason why you'd have to extract it is because there's always several images on one page. So you'd have to take one of the images and then separate it from the others to be able to put it on a page like this. So if you're able to do this, then you could easily print them on some of your pages. So this is just an added bonus if you have the ability. I know not everybody has that, but I just wanted to show you what it would look like if you are able to do it. So I just tried printing it on various papers. So this is just a smooth beige paper that I got at my Goodwill. And then all of these are sprinkled with gold as well. And I just think it makes it look so special with the gold. So there's one. Then we have this one on regular coffee dyed paper. So some gold sprinkles there. Then I printed this one on this paper. A lot of times I get the question what printer I use. So I have nothing special. I have a Canon TS5050, which is a cheap inkjet printer. The cartridges are also not super expensive and they last really a long time. I will link my printer info, maybe with a video on how it works down below. I've had it now, I think for like 2.5 years, and I've been pretty happy with it. So that's that one. I think this looks amazing. Then we have this one printed on some gray paper. This is like copy paper, but gray. How gorgeous. Also lots of gold splatters. And the gold splatters I have been doing with this Van Gogh watercolor. It's called Deep Gold in the color 803, in case you're interested. I just add a little bit water to that and then splatter it on my pages. And I love it, love it, love it. And finally we have this beauty. But obviously if you don't have the ability to print them separately like this, just fussy cut them and glue them on your pages. That's what I've been doing until now. This is the first time I tried this and I'm really happy with the results. And lastly, I selected some other papers just to mix it up as well, different formats as well. And most of these are vintage. So I have here a calendar from 1954. And I've also sprinkled a lot of these with the gold. Then I have a guest check. I have this cash transfer. I have this one here. Another kind of guest check. This is some sort of invoice. Delivery receipt. A vintage Uno scorecard. This here is actually Egyptian. I stole this from a bank in Egypt. people just leave them there at the back because they don't need them. So I took some and they looked at me very strange. Then we have this ledger paper, this company correspondence paper, I guess. And we have another letter. I don't know if I'm actually going to use this. This is half of a letter. I might not use this. Some more ledger paper. Some more ledger paper. I found this at my Goodwill at one point as well. And some like graph paper. And that's it. So I want to mix some of these into here as well. So my first task is to put together the base of the 4 signatures. So I'll just separate all the different kinds of papers that I have. I want to start with like the regular ones, these. Okay, so I'll put 2 regular ones in each signature. So let's see. So that's 1. Two. 3. And 4. Then let's add one of these to each. This one has the pocket. Okay, next I'll add these. So 2 of these get this beige paper. And to get this funky paper. Now we'll add 2 of these foldable ones to each signature. One on the outside and one more towards the inside. Maybe turn this one around. So I want to have one of these pages to have the flap on the right side and the other one on the left side, the other one on the right side. So I'll do that for each signature. So here we are, nice and squishy. I like it. So then I want to add these, but I haven't cut these down yet. So I need to, actually they all have the correct height. Or maybe I can just fold them up as well. Maybe I'll just have more flaps, then I don't need to cut anything. Let me see, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5, which is kind of a weird amount. I have 6 actually. Okay, so 2 of them will get 2 and 2 of them will only get 1. That's fine. Yeah, so I'll take this as my template so I know approximately how wide they can be. And then I'll just fold them somehow. Because flaps are always fun, right? So once they're all folded, we can put them in between. Maybe this would be a nice center. Maybe I'll put one in each center so that they have this nice image in the center, and this one will get another one. This only gets 1. I think this should be again a center. Maybe we'll fold this the other way. this one more. Let's just see. Yeah, we'll leave that for the center for this one, and we'll add this one here. And this will be our center, and then we'll again change this direction. Okay. And finally, I'll just mix in some of these, maybe not this one, just to have a bit more variety and to have different sizes as well. And I'm really not thinking a lot about this. I'm just kind of putting them in there. Start with 2 per signature, and we'll see how it goes. I think putting together the signatures is one of the most enjoyable parts. It's number 2. I think the more variety in paper and size, the more fun the journal gets. I also like putting 2 smaller sizes in the same spot. That's always kind of fun to have more flippy things on one page. Just have to be careful with these flip outs. Like that, or maybe the smaller one on top. Like that. I think that's always fun. And let's take another one. Let's take one of these calendar pages. Those are so cool. So that's number 3. We'll add another calendar page here. Guest check. Kind of like little surprises you find in your journals, right? All right, now I have some of the bigger paper left. Okay, this one is easy. Just add this to this one as well. Small one. And I also like adding papers, not always smack in the middle, but maybe more towards the bottom, more towards the top. Just keep it different in each one. Okay, this one is too long. Let's tear that down a bit. It's also just a tiny bit wide. Or we can just fold it in again. There's going to be a lot of flaps in this journal. Put one in here. And then there's this one. The height is fine. Maybe we'll just have flaps on both sides. So we'll first, because it's really wide, or long I should say, let's fold it and then we'll just fold it again. And we'll put that in this one. Let's see how this looks. Yes, definitely a fat baby. And I think this works well now. Yeah, so this holds it perfectly, this closure. And it's gonna get a nice and wide spine. I love it. So let me tell you how many pages these are. So 2 of the signatures have 10 papers. 2 of the signatures have 12 papers. So I will alternate the 10 and the 12. Maybe I should decide which one I want first. It doesn't really matter. I'll start with this one, then this one, then this one, and then this one. I don't think all signatures necessarily need to have the exact same amount of pages. You won't notice in the end. I think they just approximately need to be the same. Next, I want to add some of this pink metallic to some of the edges of my pages to go with the cover. And I'm also going to try adding some of the metallic to 1 or 2 of these scrapbook ornaments, which I might add to this journal. I don't know if that's gonna work. We'll see. Just gonna use my finger for this. I think it's the easiest. Just randomly choosing some pages. And I will do that for all 4 signatures. Okay, let's try these ornaments. I'm not sure this is actually going to stick. Let's try maybe this one. Oh, it might. And let's try one of the butterflies as well. Okay, we'll let these dry and then see what happens. So I printed and cut some of the digitals that I want to use in this journal. And you see here a variety of different kits that I have used. Again, I will list all of these in the description box below. So maybe we can start playing around with these a little bit while my pages are drying. So these are some very cute library cards. I really like these. Super cute. And I thought maybe we can embellish some of these a little bit more. So for example, we could add one of my metallic butterflies on one of them, and maybe even add maybe a feather. I found these recently at Teddy, my local store. I mean, how cute are these? Might be too big though. Could always cut them. I don't know if I should add a different color or if I should keep everything the same. Oh, I do like that one. I'll just use my tacky glue to attach this. Feathers are always kind of a challenge to attach, I think. Because if you add too much glue, then the fluffiness of the feather gets lost. So you really can only glue the middle part. On this one, maybe we can add one of these round ones and one of the flowers I cut out. Be like this. On this one, we could add one of our silver dragonflies. Maybe like that. On this one here, we can add another feather. Maybe cut that down a little bit. I don't want to cover up that cute bird. Then we can add these flowers over it. Yeah, just gonna cut these. Then there are these lovely postcards, which I have inked up on the front, and I have printed them on 160 GSM paper, so a little bit more sturdy, or double as sturdy as a regular copy paper. Look how cute these are. These won't need any embellishing on the front whatsoever, but I do want to back them with some coffee dyed paper. So I'll just glue them onto the coffee paper. Then I'll just cut them out. And then I'll stamp on the back. I have these, I think these are from Finnabair, if I'm not mistaken. I got these in the States 3 years ago. I have one here that says Postcard. So I want to put that on the back with my black archival ink. And I'll ink around that as well. Yeah, and I think I'll do that with all of them. So I varied them just a little bit, and I only used all my offcuts that I had from making the pages smaller for my journal. So I also varied the postcard stamps. All of these 3 stamps are in that same set from Finnabair, so very cool. So I just varied it, and this again was one of the papers that I used in the journal, and I had some extra scraps left. So that's a great way to use your scraps to back some of the ephemera with. In the meantime, the metallic paint has mostly dried. And you see my edges now look very yummy, I think. And we can start adding some of the embellishments in the signatures. So this is going to be my first page of my first signature, and I think on this one I want to have either one of the butterflies or one of the dragonflies as like a greeting. And I want it sticking out a little bit over the edge of the flap. So like that. And then I really want to use some of these sepia vintage bird images. This is one of Tina's newer kits, and I really love these. And I think they will be beautiful in combination with the bright colors. Just gorgeous. Yeah, so maybe I'll do some collaging with these throughout the pages. How cool is this guy? I love him. He's so great. And they are so easy to just make random little collages with. I just love this. This is one of my sewn scraps. Just a piece of scrap that I have put through my sewing machine. And they make the best embellishments. Look how cute these are. Aren't they just adorable? And I think Under this, I'm just going to do some stamping. So this is my stamp from Crafty Individuals from the UK. I will link their website for you as well. They have really beautiful stamps. Just want some texture on this page. Oh, that looks fabulous. Look at that. Love that. Such a cool texture, so quick and easy. Yep, and now this looks a lot better. Moving on to the second signature, I'm just going to glue this one on the first page, and I'm just gluing it on top here so that you can still lift it up. There's also a page with 4 beautiful nests in that vintage sepia bird collection. So maybe we can make a collage with one of these. I have inked this one up already. And we can maybe add a bird to that. And find something else for the background. It's also a leftover scrap. Just add a touch of color. I think that's all it needs. Maybe some pink lace under that. Cute little owls there. And maybe we could add one of the silver butterflies. Moving on to signature 3 for the front here. Maybe we can add this beauty here. And I will tear it down a bit. And I want to try something a little different here. I'll just ink this up first. And then I'll glue that down on this one side. And then I'd like to cut out where the flowers are here. We can maybe use that hummingbird somewhere else. I don't know, it's something different. And then we could maybe add one of those butterflies again, so that I have one of these metallic elements on each of the cover of each of the 4 signatures. Maybe like this. This is our 4th signature, so we need another metallic element for that, and I think this library card will do nicely for that. And maybe we can even add one of these here that I made. Just like that up there. I think that would be a cute beginning of our last signature. So now we have all 4 first pages of the signatures done, as well as some of the other pages inside. Not a lot done yet, I know. I think these work really well together, these 4. I'm loving that. It will take me many more hours to put all the embellishments in here, which will obviously be too much for this video. So I'm gonna continue off camera and show you the final result once it's done. Isn't technology amazing? It's just been a few seconds for you and she's already done. I have put many hours into her in the meantime, and yeah, she's done. And I think she turned out really cute. So here you see the binding. I've done another 5-hole pamphlet stitch binding. I will leave a link to a video below with instructions on how to do this kind of binding. I've also added some gold splatters on the cover. So I will give you a rather quick flip through because as you can see, there's a lot. I did not over embellish. A lot of times I like the papers, if they are pretty, to speak for themselves. So I don't like over embellishing every page. Oh, and I added a bunch of these sentiments. I printed these, I think, at 25%, so they are much bigger in real. But, you know, for a journal like this, I think it's really cute when they are small like this. And obviously, I will list those below as well. I had a snippet roll, which had quite a bit of fabric on it, and the colors match perfectly. So I just added some of the florals, which are also, of course, from the Digital Collage Club. And I also printed these smaller, I think at 40%. So these are much larger in reality as well. But I really love having some of these in small. And then I had some bits left over and I made some tabs out of some of them. So you see here's a little bird. Here is a paper ruffle. And this says, "Keep on dreaming." This is from the sentiments. Here we have our beautiful bird in the center of the first signature. This one we did together. This one as well. Just stuck that here. Then here's another bit of a card that I had left over. And I just cut it with my kids' scissors and put some lace underneath. So you can really use up all the bits you have. There's another little cluster with my fabric snippet and one of the florals on top. Here's another one of the sentiments. It says, "Take time to do what makes your soul happy." So this is signature number 2. This one says, "It's the little things in life." Little bird collage there. This is another one of the prints from the Sepia Vintage Bird Digital with some lace underneath. Another one of the snippet rolls. Another paper ruffle underneath one of the dragonflies. Here's another one of those bits I had left over that I made a tab out of. So I have this tab punch. I think I have this listed down below in case you need it. It's from Amazon. Dies also work. Then I had this library card left over and I just glued it to the edge so that it could be a tuck spot if you wanted to. And then I just added this metallic die on top that I had left. I must say I love this paper. Another little cluster says, "No rain, no flowers." I think that's perfect for spring. I really love this little cluster. It's nothing fancy. It has some shimmer, but I really, really love this one for some reason. That bird is so cool on that stamped background. That was again done with the, I can't find it now. Oh, here it is. It's right in front of me with this stamp that I used before. Such a cool stamp. Another little cluster right there. Beautiful feather. Whoops, I'm out of frame. I'm so sorry. Another one of those tabs. This one has some butterflies. Love this paper as well. Here's another ruffle and a little cluster here. Here I just put this pink metallic paint on one of the prints and added the feather behind it. He's so pretty. The cluster here says good vibes only. And the last signature, love this one too. And there's another tab. I think these turned out so cute. Here's that pocket page. So I added another one of those library cards there, and I backed it with some more of the paper that I had left over. This one says, enjoy the little things. This is another sparkly collage. And there's the other side of the pocket with another library card, which has a lace tab and also backed with this paper. And the last dragonfly on a piece of a snippet roll. And a large pocket. That is her. She really is a fat baby. I love that. So if I would leave her, then she's like this. And the size of the elastic seems perfect. So again, I hope this gave you some more inspiration how to use digitals in general, how to add your own style to it, and how to experiment. Don't forget that you can shrink digitals, you can blow them up sometimes a little bit. Usually it's easier to just shrink them down to a certain percentage. You can cut parts out. Don't feel obliged to use the printables as they are. Just use them however you like and don't feel bad about it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope to see you back in the next one. Love you guys.